Nice. And there we go. Today it's Wednesday. We have June 5th, and we are on the Catalyst After Talk, right? With Daniel from Africa, with Özge. He's in Turkey, with Jonathan from England. You're on. With Joe, who's joining in from very early 5 a.m. in the morning. With Joey, not calling from the closet. And we have Simon. But thanks for joining Breakout Room. Today's topic is ecosystem agents. To be very clear on this, I don't have strong ideas, visions, or whatever on ecosystem agents. I think it's something, yeah, what slowly emerges in our ecosystem, and is maybe something of what we can start to focus on to say, hey, over the last years we saw people going actually full-time Cardano and helping a lot of projects across the board. And they usually play different roles like mentors, advisors, or bridge builders, or developers, or initiators themselves, kickstarting projects and initiatives and whatnot. And we have some roles defined in our ecosystem. Like, for example, we have ambassadors, and there we have content creators, and we have translators, we have meetup organizers, with stuff like this. Then in Catalyst, we have roles like reviewers, proposers, voters. And in early Catalyst days, we had this role when we still had the Catalyst school running. Maybe some of you remember, is we had this Catalyst mentors around, right? So literally, very often people have been overly engaged in the ecosystem by themselves already, because they usually build stuff on Cardano, educate a bunch of people, and start to support across of projects in the ecosystem. So usually folks who wear very different and many hats very often. So quite difficult to say what the fuck are these full-time engaged people actually doing. Like, a lot of it is visible work, insanely difficult to measure the impact of them, and really difficult to say, how can we effectively support these guys actually? Because if we get current community experts in place, which are crazy enough to say, okay, I bet full-time on Cardano, and I do this as my day job, and I fucking live on ADA, and do this for years. It's like more stake in the game where we can't actually expect, right? And to have such people as networkers, mentors, advisors, supporters around, I think is something maybe we want to have. Maybe not. Maybe the whole thing is a really dumb idea as well, and we say, no, it's stupid, that shit doesn't make sense at all, right? So actually, I'm really not in a position to have any strong ideas. I submitted a proposal in Fund 12 to build a concept and framework for that thing. It's not a lot. I asked total 30K ADA, which would be mostly contributed to people who participate there, most I would say. But yeah, wanted to start a first, let's say, open discussion around the topic. From now, I would mostly shut up, leave this an open space, and listen and learn. And I really get already some understanding of what you think that this whole thing should be about. You don't have to raise hands. Just go for it. Go for it.
Okay, so I didn't see the proposal, but I'm curious to read about. It sounds interesting. It is just a new term that you brought, right? Agents, because it's not ambassadors, it's not mentors or something. It's just new thing. Agents.
Exact. Because in this regard, I think what is about agents, why I call it agents, is they have agency. They are independent, actually, in this regard. They are not contracted usually to entities or whatnot. They are like free as a fucking bird, and that's really important for them as well. So they can be sure, okay, no, they don't have any NDAs or stuff. They can like act very free, flexible, and really on their own. And the
Yeah.
term, to be honest, is something I start to steal a little bit from Polkadot ecosystem, because they have a more matured and, let's say, formalized approach of this ecosystem agents. But I don't want to take too much from their stuff, because I think each ecosystem is very unique. And if we think about these agents, we should do it from our perspective and in our context. So starting from zero, very much.
So, for example, I would consider myself as volunteer so far because I'm just coming time to time whenever I'm interested. Of course, I tried out getting some proposals funding, but I couldn't reach. So that didn't make me bring more time here because at that time I would have the responsibility to onboard more people and engage with them here in the space. But here I'm just a volunteer still. I voluntarily share Cardano with people, with my friends in Turkey. They sometimes come, but they don't have basically any reason to be here because they are not so much clear about the processes here. So I can explain a little bit to them, but they don't know. So yeah, I'm volunteering, mentoring, challenge team. A lot of things are going on, and now this time is agent. It is interesting. So I think to be an agent, it is a kind of um, expertise you need, I think. I mean, you need to know well. For example, currently I can't be an agent, I think, because I don't spend enough time here in the space. I come time to time to update myself, but I'm not really engaged in inviting people here. But I just voluntarily invite people and inform people about what's going on in Cardano space. So I also had a proposal to bring more students on board. Maybe it is an agent work also. If I win this, for example, proposal, probably I will work as an agent in the university because I will have a budget. I can distribute this budget to the young people and so on. I will be an agent automatically, I think, because I will take some responsibility to share information with them and bring them here. But currently, yes, I'm a volunteer, for example. If I could just compare it with my position to understand your term agent. I think that's it so far, but I can share further if someone maybe share their position as well here. By the way, I'm reading your proposal.
Yeah, I can jump in. What is Project Catalyst, Felix? No, I'm kidding. So yeah, I think the agent position is very interesting and needed, and all of us are doing that. I think somehow creating a collaboration layer between the agent is interesting. So that's yeah, I think to consider. So it's not only agent, but actually the synergies between the agents. Because kind of even the agents kind of work in silos now, right? A lot of the project work on silos, and also the agents work on silos. So if we can somehow create a incentive for collaboration, right? Then we are of the collaboration infrastructure, then we are able to better serve even the companies. So for example, if Joe here, we need anything in New Zealand, obviously there's Joe in New Zealand that we can have, her knowledge there. And this collaboration is important, right? And work always. So that's yeah, something to consider. But great, very, very much needed. And one question is where the resources will come from, right? Eventually for that. Is it come from the proposals? Is it come, one of the ideas to change the mindset of today we have milestone reviewers. It's kind of a negative to review instead of an agent that support, for example. So potentially the funding is there, but just need to channel them differently. Yeah, that's a couple of thoughts, but well done, Bravo, for the proposal.
The proposal, to be honest, I'm even not that wild about getting it funded. It was for me just to start the conversation because a proposal is very often a really good way to start a conversation. So to be honest, I don't give that much care on the proposal. And when you read through it, it's very abstract. It's not really a proposal myself, actually. I would vote for, say, like wait, it's so wishy-washy. You speak about something you have actually fucking no idea about what it is. So I think the more relevant things to start the conversation, but yeah, thanks for input. One thing what comes already on mind, I think, in this is once to say, yeah, definitely a framework which allows effective coordinations and collaboration across the agents. For example, this is something what we can observe at the Cardano Ambassadors program, right? There are 120 ambassadors, active ambassadors, not sure, 70, maybe. And there's very little, let's say, self-initiative by them actually, where they start to actively work together, even across several roles, right? Where you say naturally they should work together because here's a content creator and there's a translator. Maybe translators always no, like there's very little structure. I think also tooling, right? Make sure that there's effective tooling in place actually for them. And from that's what I think is cool from your perspective is to say maybe there could be several levels of agents, right? So when we say, oh, an agent is ideally, let's say our envisioned perfect agent, he's full-time in the Cardano ecosystem, but this is, let's say, the highest level you can level up to. There can be a bunch of sub-levels as well, where you say, hey, I start with 0, but I can become an agent over time, right? And, but at least providing something like this, there's something cool at Polkadot as well, where they have the collectives, and they have this level achievement as well, a little bit like the Taekwondo Academy, actually. And it takes 17 years to reach the highest level, let's say. So we should say there could be several level of agents. Yeah, you don't have to expect hardcore being full-time Cardano, being crazy enough to do this actually, since the get-go. But more say, maybe it takes you 2, 3 years, 4 or 5 years, whatnot, to get there, but create this roadmap. Something I note down already. So levels, and from Özge and from you, Yoram, on the framework for support collaborations amongst agents, and adding tooling to this as well. But from your perspective, guys, because that there is no definition of an agent yet, like how would you like to define, just from your very own most crazy idea, let's say the utopian Cardano ecosystem agent? How does this look like?
So I would change the word from agent to actor or actant. And I would say an agent is a collection of human and non-human actors that, work together to build the ecosystem. But I don't have any, I don't know where you were going with the Cardano agent, as it were, or what the title of the space is. Because I assign a bit of agency to the technology, to the smart contract, and most people don't believe that non-sentient beings have agency. So there's my utopia.
Nice. And on the direction where it's going to, I have no idea yet where it's going to. Just starting the discussion, right?
Right.
But
I'm pulling that from actor network theory. From Giordano Latour. I'm sorry, Bruno Latour and his work. But I missed the beginning. Give me the five. Explain like I'm 5, where you're coming from. 17 years is a long time, Felix. Like I've been here 5. Another 12 is going to be tough.
No, not for you. You're crazy enough to survive such 12 years, dude. But this was more in the context where I said already on the beginning, I introduced I don't really have any strong ideas or personal perspectives yet on such a thing. Simply to say, hey, we have full-time community members engaged in the Cardano ecosystem, which are very often not contracted to entities, because there's a difference, right? Being full-time, for example, because you work for IoT, or being full-time and not working for any entity, like it's a different kind of shoes. and to say, okay, ideally, this is something what we as ecosystem want to cultivate and what we cultivate as well, but we don't really have effective framework to say, what the fuck is it actually? And yeah, how can we make this thing work as well? And the whole thing here is actually just starting the conversation about and listening to each other and say, oh, okay.
Just looking for the title of the breakout room again, Cardano Ecosystem Agents. And if I understand where you're coming from, you're kind of defining an agent that is in some capacity employed or not, compensated or not, putting in full-time equivalent work into Cardano.
Definitely, yeah, full time. And
Okay.
on the 17 years, this was something what Polkadot has actually, where they have this collectives, how they call it. And right now it's the technical fellowship. So in their regard, for example, Web3 Foundation and Parity stepped out. And you had this massive hole of, oh shit, who is actually maintaining, further developing core infrastructure of the protocol. And this in a non-entity way. And this is where they designed the fellowship program. This one of the first collectives where you now have over 70 full-time Polkadot developers working for the core protocol. And the idea is to create more of this collectives, right? And how they design it is like a Taekwondo academy or something like this, right? Where you have this different downs and levels, so you can rank up, but by achievement. It's like titles are not given, they are earned, right? So you have to earn your mastery and level up. And this takes 17 years for them to reach the highest level. Like, it's quite cool because when you think about full time and you say already 70 years for full time, not to get fully full time, you're well funded already before by the treasury. So the collectors are funded by the treasury. But just to say, hey, we are not just thinking about you in 1 to 3 years. We are thinking about you in fucking 20, 40 years. We want you for this time, right? I think that it's a strong statement actually in this regard.
So if I get you correctly, your onboarding strategy is let me help you set up a wallet, a seed phrase, and plan for your retirement. It's 70 years, like I love it. Let's first, no, and I'm joking when I say that, but I do see exactly what you're saying. What level of participation, time, involvement, energy, what resources are you capable of giving, willing to give, and are going to give from A to B? Yeah, there's no social security for that. There's no retirement for that. There's no guarantee of an pat on the back or a clap or just somebody offering a hand.
Yeah, here in this space, I think there are extra challenges and uncertainties that an agent has to overcome. I think an agent should be ready to such kind of things. I wrote something about what we can expect from an agent or what kind of, because agent is a kind of independent person, right? I mean, sometimes like I'll say, I mean, they don't need something guarantee, but they are in a process, ongoing process to overcome several things. Like they have the responsibility to face this challenge. Otherwise, it's not possible. I mean, sometimes as I mentioned, sometimes I think that I can be part of this international community. Why not? But then other responsibilities come to me in my country, in my family, and so on. And I say, no, I'm not that much independent. So I cannot take risk to go to, for example, war or somewhere. So which is not certain because I have other responses. So I want to share such kind of thing. If we are talking about an agent, I think agents face several issues, and this decentralized community, because of the nature, it brings some uncertainties, I think, because it's a total new thing. I mean, we believe that we need to connect with different people in that way, in this technological way. And it's a great way to work together because we are not dependent on our governmental organizations. But at the same time, it's new and not everyone is going to take this uncertainty risk, I think.
I think this uncertainty risk is maybe something what is a little bit exclusive, but also guarantee for something like agents. Where say ideally we want to have the highest of all stakes for these people. Because it's not like it replaces anything else. There's still ambassador program. You still become a reviewer, right? If you don't want to go hardcore, then there are a lot of other opportunities in the ecosystem where you want to go to. But if you really go hardcore, then it's the agent thing, maybe.
This is more like an identity for me. I mean, it brings a kind of identity because, for example, as you mentioned, ambassadorship, it's ambassador, but there are some certain things. You can be a translator, you can be meetup leader or something. These are well-defined, actually a process of work. But when it comes to agency, I think it is just an identity. Like you have something you feel like you belong to a community. You maybe don't need to do anything also. Like you can just say that you belong to this community and you can say that I vote for this community. I belong to this community. I prefer this community rather than other communities, like a kind of political identity maybe it represents to me, like because it's as an identity. Why I don't go to, for example, Polkadot, but I'm in Cardano. I'm not going there because I don't have time. And sometimes something takes my attention in this community. And I say that I want to be part of decentralized community, but I even don't know how to join them. I mean, for example, we have some friends like Tony, for example, mentioned last time to me that he's part of also Polkadot and he's trying to bridge the gap and things like that. So I don't know how it even works. So somehow I registered here, I know this place, and then I like here and I come here time to time. So I need to make extra research to go somewhere else, and I don't want to spend that time. So I think it is part of being feeling belong to somewhere. Also, this agent thing reminds me identity.
And looking at it from identity entity, I think there could be one major changes, let's say for the ambassadors program, for example, like you said, the roles are very defined, right? And they're defined by the Cardano Foundation and they operate as roles, right? They set the standards and all. And a little bit the same to let's say Catalyst, right? The roles are very defined by Catalyst team. Its own entity, now forgot the name. But in this regard, I think agents, if it's whatever it is, maybe not definitely something more in the direction of a DAO or a network. It would have to be accountable. It would have to be transparent, and it would have to be independent and self-governed, I think. So really our own entity. What kind exactly of entity or identity collectively? Not sure yet. But but definitely something alone standing and independent, I think. But what do you think?
Did you ask me or someone else?
Well, anybody, actually,
Oh.
anybody who is listening.
Yeah, we have some guys didn't talk at all, so we can involve them. Jonathan, are you planning to change your background sometime?
Maybe when I move house. Interesting thoughts going on, and it's we're kind of revisiting conversations we've had from like 2021, and instantly my mind always turns to the sort of technical solutions, because ultimately we're looking ways we can, fund positions. We can recognize the value that people like agents are bringing, and there's so many difficult things to track in terms of what an agent might do. Whereas I think of the word agent in particular in and of its own self, and it instantly turn to like secret agents or FBI agents. These are like like specific roles with heavy responsibilities, and are highly paid individuals for the skills that they execute on behalf of a wider group. So Cardano's agents maybe people like that who are just the tool for the job, and so some of the chat was sort of alluding to that, in terms of agents being quite a specific thing. From like Joe was saying that Quasar always has a different take on everything, because he's Quasar.
I agree there actually, because I think one superpower of the agents is that they are good on many different things and they wear many different hats. They are this role, also this role, also this role. They are advisors, they are proposal assessors, and they are ambassadors, and they are CIP editors, and they are whatnot, for example. And ideally, like we have this kind of people, right? I think by limiting them to specific tasks, maybe we take off some of their potential actually and effectivity. Rather say, hey, we know you are nuts. You have proven it along years and years in the ecosystem. Fucking do it full time for the ecosystem, because we can't compensate to lose you. Like there's something what we remember, right? We had amazing good people in the ecosystem full time, fucking crazy guys, and we lost them, right? And this is something, if you get somebody on board in Cardano and now they go full time in 2 years or whatnot, they build such much knowledge and value. Like if we fuck them off, then we are doing a pretty stupid job as community, actually. What's the point then?
Yeah, it's huge loss, huge damage done. You lose a lot of value. And I'm thinking of a couple of the technical, because it's so amorphous, so it's hard to pin down the behaviors that would qualify for an agent's tasks. We were looking at technical solutions for how to track activity, to build reputation and all those sorts of things. And one of the oldest ones we looked at was coordinate. I don't know if you guys remember that one, but that's actually looking quite polished now. And then as well, source cred. Remember we played with source cred?
Yeah, if you know how to connect it from GitHub to Discord, I have an open ticket item, I think, in a dwork somewhere.
Well, we had it up and running.
Fantastic.
We did. We had it up and running on the Catalyst Alliance Discord. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
So you can all go and see your reputation scores according to the source cred tracking.
This is really old stuff. This is cool. Governance alive, dude.
I'm in there, but I want to see my reputation scoring there and
You're
aggregated across the board.
top of the chart, Quasar.
It's got to be like, I'm playing reputation like golf. You got to go into the negative.
Governance alive, teaching your community how to govern. Do you remember? Beautiful.
Yeah.
Good
Wow. Yeah, good. Yeah.
Just like you were saying, looking down that list, the names we recognize and the names that hurt the most are the ones that wandered off, who were extremely valuable, and they were here full time 2 years ago. I haven't been able to sustain it.
He did, Joy. Yeah, maybe not on individuals, but he did do a lot of work for contributors, both to Catalyst and Cardano. I'm not going to go into it too much.
But back to it, because the thing came up, like, or actually, one question, like, how would agents be elected, selected, voted, assigned. If it would be independent and it would have to be a DAO, what not sort of. Who would be in charge to decide if an agent becomes an agent or if he levels up or crashes down a level, for example?
Yeah, that's an important question.
If somebody comes up and says with the ADA vote, shut the fuck up. No, not in plutocracy for this kind of stuff. Sorry, plutocrats. Sorry, whales. We love you anyway. Do your way. Be way. You're kind
It's
way.
plutocracy or nothing. Like if you're not stealing from the people, then plutocracy is nothing. Oligarchies are nothing. Like be a kleptocracy. Be a kleptocracy. Kleptocracy. Just I'll be honest. You're stealing. That's fine. Identify yourself, you kleptocratic agent. That's another thing. The governance itself, for me, is an agent, and I don't think that's where you're going. So I wanted to back up my abstract thinking from where you were with this. So, but when I use the word steward as agent, they're a steward of Cardano, or does an agent actually need to have X amount of time with X amount of groups or organizations, or in X amount of actions or skills to reach what you're calling an agent?
I'm not calling anybody an agent so far. That's
Yeah, and I'm just trying to figure out who and when we can call. Like I like Agent Quasar. That sounds good.
I like agent because it's actually sexy and people have. I think it's easier for them to understand what an agent. When you drop the name agent, they know, okay, they do stuff. Like if you say actor or steward, first, who came up with this name? It smells Quasar in its beginning already.
Yeah, agent automatically scares me because I think police or undercover, FBI agent, IRS agent.
That actually makes me think, if you're going to do levels, can we be like a double agent?
Ooh.
Don't tell her, but most of us already are.
But that's actually so. How would you connect the levels to a double agent then?
Oh, I don't know. I just think it sounded fun. I feel like
Yeah,
in a lot
okay.
of
You need
I
two
feel like
blockchains for
Catalyst
that.
stuff and the
Two
intersect,
different
and that feels like a double agent sometimes.
Yes.
Backlog, graveyards. No, no.
Hey, I'm going to step out of this room just to send an invite from the main place, but I'm going to rejoin. I'm having fun here.
But the double agent could be when if you walk across different ecosystems. For one more you are double, for three you are triple, and then you just level up.
And it caps at 007.
Yeah. Just like end boss level.
Sorry, I'm not being helpful, but it'd be cool.
So if we take the approach from proposer, voter, community reviewer, SIP writer, all those, look, not that would go to double agents, but that's a multi-agent agent. Like how do you do that? And then we're double agents and Catalyst as community advisors and proposers. Like I can't how would you say, okay, community advisors can now write proposals and comment, review proposals across the board and everything, all the way back like at Fund 3 and 4 when it was first introduced, and then in 7. Everybody do everything if you can. Just don't review in a category you get a proposal. So yeah. Here's your rope.
thinking then actually about the how such a level thing then could play out. Like that's actually tricky because you have somehow to define the scope of each level a little bit and the relation and then leveling up. So what would be actually one thing, because from the session, what I really like is some more free, not so serious ideas about the thing. I think that's actually really important. The whole thing should have some fun side really attached to it. Not making it too hardcore business serious and say, we are Cardano's next generation business developers, whatnot, fuck shit. Like, no, like keeping it on the roots and keeping it maybe informal, not that much bureaucratic and serious. I don't think this is why.
So you had a question in the chat. She asked, what's the problem an agent solves? And I don't know if anybody else wanted to speak to that. I like the answer that it changes. From what I've gathered thus far, it almost sounds to me like an agent would define what they're going to solve or what value they're going to add. Because as you said, you don't want to pin them down to one particular thing. I myself wouldn't be able to choose between all the things I do. If I had to pick just one, I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to be an agent then, you know? So I think an agent would kind of have to be able to offer up what their solution would be.
And maybe then even in this regard, it can become sort of, let's say, that an agent can say, hey, this is the stuff I can do, but don't take me by the word. I do a bunch of invisible stuff as well in this regard. But I think the more relevant thing is let's say, the reputation or the track record of what I actually did already in the ecosystem. So they naturally, maybe ideally emerge into their role simply by recognizing over time, oh, look, you have done this and that and this and that over multiple years. And say, hey, seems this is a little bit what you're good at. And you need quite some time to figure out in the space where you're really good in, and then focusing yourself on it, not spreading yourself too thin across the whole thing, because I think this agents is really one really important thing is I think really this multi thing, right? They do a lot of things. So yeah, so they self-select themselves actually, yep. But and this is actually something cool, because with this we could build actually like a relation between different roles as well. It's like for a bunch of people, it's really good to start onboarding into Cardano as a catalyst reviewer, for example. It's insanely good way to get understanding and learn insights, especially when you're new to the ecosystem. Later, you might follow up as a proposer and become a funnel proposer. Later, maybe you become an ambassador. Maybe later you whatnot. And then when the agent starts. So not something where totally new people to the ecosystem maybe would join and say, hey, I want to become an agent. More people legitimize it themselves through years of engagements to say, hey, fuck here. I am an agent. Past track record proves it. No promises, deliver it. Guys, say something.
I was just thinking about so decentralization is the star we're trying to get after. And so if we are attaching label of agents to individuals, then does that then just make them targets for being hoovered up by private companies? Or is it something that can only be publicized to DAOs or something like that?
You know, actually, that's a great way to look at it, because at early in the DAO conversation, they were actually decentralized or autonomous agents.
Hmm.
Which, what are they now? What is a DAO? Decentralized autonomous
Organization.
organization. Yeah, yeah. So they were like autonomous. They were AO, autonomous agents. And you know, I think of a stake pool as an autonomous agent. The thing that I don't know if any of us want to do or deal with is me and my semantic and linguistic, you know, trying to figure out what we mean by the word, which I still find very important, you know, especially within a word like agent.
Mm-hmm. That's it's a good point, because without agents, the community collapses pretty much. Just like without stake pool operators, the network collapses. So the agent is the infrastructure, really. It's the chassis or the skeleton, the scaffold, or that everything else hangs off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
until the decentralization.
If we don't reward our agents or find some way of recognizing them, then we do lose them, and that damage that comes from that, again, is represented by if you lose all your stake pool operators or lose your core members of the community, it fragments and dissipates like tears in rain.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if Felix wouldn't have reached out in January of 2022 and offered that funding out, you know, I would have left.
Hmm.
I would have had to. And also, there's been other situations where the community, I've been very, very fortunate that the community's provided when I did not expect and was, you know, ready to do it. So I'm going to say the agents are participants.
Hmm.
At
Rob,
least for myself.
you got your hand up.
Yeah, I was just wondering, I kind of missed everything. What are agents exactly? Is that part of, I'm trying to think. Is that part of a transaction thing? I think I'm kind of catching on. I kind of came in late.
More non-transactional first, I would say. So in this regard, like imagine like the worst hardcore Cardano ambassador being crazy enough to be full-time into the ecosystem and having quite a hard life to figure stuff out and to survive themselves, because they want to stay independent and free in the community. So not signing any contracts to entities.
Oh, okay.
Oh, this is recorded. Okay, I'm not going to say what I was going to say.
Yeah, it's recorded. I will throw it on Swarm YouTube later.
Okay, so I mean, I think agents are actually, you know, people with addictive personalities or addictions, and they replace it with Cardano and community, and then they just want to get paid. You slimy addicts. I think agents, in the way that you're presenting it, Felix, are people that become passion players, engagers, and are, you know, look at this as a lifetime career or lifetime involvement, and we're all in this transitory period of employer-employee relations and needing money and finances, and we're a large blockchain with a very large treasury. The funds are there. Nobody's looking for a handout, I don't believe, but a good network and community, in my mind, finds a way to identify those people and make sure that needs are met, basic normal human needs.
Sounds good.
Should we sign you up?
I mean, I'm always willing to collaborate. I mean, Quasar, the game changer thing is what I mean, I've been reading your guys' and using your product, you know, the new thing you have with the guy, which I don't understand. I use the QR code to get it. It's like a kiosk or something. I don't know if it's, and anyway, I've been using I mean, and trying to collaborate on, you guys are, you know, any way I can collaborate, but you guys are the ones that have really started me in on, more communication and get involved. So actually you're the game changer and all you guys. So that's, you know, but however I can get involved, I just know that agents is something that I kind of, got familiar with through one of the, you know, but anyway, whatever I can get involved in, I'm game, whatever. But you guys, the game changer thing is one that is getting me more involved with the ecosystem and people. Yeah.
That's amazing, and I remember trading some messages with you, and I think
Yeah.
here, well, here on Zoom or town halls is the only place that we've spoken.
More is on not Git, yeah, I think it's GitHub. No, Discord. It's Discord, one of them. Anyway, your guys' I use your products. I mean, I'm involved.
And you're still using it?
That new thing you have is with the kiosk. It's with the it's like a teller machine. And then you go in and you have to scan. I think you scan a
The
barcode.
point of sale?
Yeah, and then it takes you to a barcode, and then you scan the barcode, and then you go and sign in with, I don't know if it's the DAP thing but I was right in the middle of that last night, and I don't know, you know, that I use your product, you know, and I guess learn about your market, you know, all the stuff you have going on is and your proposals with the education thing, which I'm fairly interested in that because went through a lot of schooling and stuff. So I think that's a really good proposal you have. But yeah, I mean, you guys have a lot going on. That's engaging me with Cardano more than anything. I can kind of it's getting me involved with you guys. You guys are getting me involved, and I'm enjoying it. And so anyway, I can collaborate with you guys. I put a proposal out there, and I put out there that I've been collaborating. So I put you guys a game. I've been collaborating with the Game Changer team, you know. But that's the only kind of communication I've had. And I appreciate you guys, man. You guys got it going on, man. Really impressed.
Thank you. I don't think we really knew.
No,
Adrian isn't aware, so I have to share the good news with them.
I use it on a daily basis. Like I said, I use it for my to look at documents. I'm not that great of a developer yet. I'm learning how, but it's kind of motivating me to learn how to develop, because it's giving me a kind of a blueprint, you know. Yeah, it's starting to make it more fun. I'm having a lot more fun. It's not as grueling as it was before. So I'm putting a lot of my computer skill and kind of having fun with it now, and I'm not as intimidated. So yeah, you guys have a great deal going on, man. I don't know how you came up with what you came up with, but it's
Oh, it is not me. It's 100% Adriano. It is his. He's the mad scientist.
I thought it was you. I thought you were one of the main guys, you know. But every time I see you on there, I got to jump on where you're at, man, because I just to tell you, you know, I think collaboration's good. And I'm a little bit more involved now. So with the development part, you know, maybe develop my own thing one day. But I'm more involved in using your products right now and putting a lot of my schooling on there, different things I'm using it for. And you guys just recently fixed your test net, your pre-prod, man. That thing's running good.
It's back down today, this morning.
Oh, that's all right. It's been pretty consistent, man. Like the last week. Wow, you guys stepped it up. You guys don't mess around. Well, fun. But, yeah, what the agent thing though, you know, I could look more into that. I thought it was something a little different than I thought it was. But,
Thank you so much for that. I need this recording right right away, Felix. I have to give it to Adriano because
Yeah,
he
yeah.
or at least that clip of it. Rob, thank you so much on that. Yeah.
I will throw the recording into folder chat with you so you can cut it out. It's like,
Adriano's gonna be blown away. Yeah, exactly. We found one. Like out of the blue. You know, he's a Cardano agent. Rob, you are officially an agent.
Oh, I appreciate it. Yeah, I was when that pre-prod went down. I was like, "What am I gonna do, man? I can't go on. I got things I gotta do, man. You gotta get that thing up." And then when it got up there, I was real stoked, man. I'm like, "Yeah, it's been up now for like a week. I'm all excited and using it. And the mainnet's good, but I like that pre-prod. That thing's thing's pretty powerful. I don't know whoever developed. You guys, great developers, man. I want to get to where you guys are at one day, developing as good as you guys. But that takes time, I know. But I appreciate you guys, man.
Yeah, thank you. You made my day. And this conversation, Felix. Thanks for having this space and this topic. It's a good one.
Maybe also we started already several times, but we started good stuff and it ended up total shit show. Let's also keep this in mind, right? Maybe it's a cool idea, but things can get very, very fast, very wild as well. And we say, what the fuck? It's not what it is about, guys. But I think also this is something where I think also like ideas have some sort of really maturity, like a flower in the spring and early summer, right? They don't bloom in fucking winter. Like each idea has its time as well. I think this agent thing I really see as one of the topics which are, it's not actually my idea, it's something emerging through time. And I just want to be the person pointing the finger and say, hey, community, that's something important. It really is. Let's figure this out, right? So because I wouldn't even maybe consider myself an agent. Like when I think about the ideal agent, I would think about something like Cator or Patrick. Cator, imagine Cator, imagine he would get a step out of Cardano Foundation and says, and we don't want to leave somebody like him because that's a fucking valuable person, right? And we ideally want to have him full-time for Cardano and not working for any entities or whatnot. This dude has to be full-time Cardano. Or Patrick Topler, something like this, for example. You know? Like when I think about agents, then real like this kind of crazy people as extreme, maybe real to say, wow, they are at this next level stuff here.
Using Cator as an example helps me understand where you're coming from and what you're, you know, a couple of ways that we could possibly go about having that conversation and stuff. If we look at what Ethereum did, you know, how do they fund their developers, their core developers, you know? I think I forget the name of the entity that they had to create.
Also can look on it from the angle to say, how do we pirate folks from IOG, Cardano Foundation, which are so good in their stuff because they are years around? And over time, we want to become ideally fully rid of the founding entities in any responsibilities, right? For us, it shouldn't play any role as CF or IOG collapsing tomorrow. If they would today, we would lose the most relevant stuff of our ecosystem, right? And ideally, it is something what we want to have. We want to have the founding entities vanishing away. So we need somebody who's actually fucking able to hire these folks, which can't be hired from CF and IOG now anymore, right? Because we will come there sooner or later. So
As an agent, is that like a participant in a in a contract, in like a contract or something, or
I think we're trying to define it, Rob. I think we're all coming to an agree. Yeah.
I don't, I'm just, yeah, I'm a little, it's a little above my, I don't know if it's above my head or is it, it's just something I'm interested in or something, I don't know.
Like,
But you got me going up on something anyway, I'll let you guys talk so I can learn.
No, please ask questions and,
I found a paper in Cardano, the IOG, and it's talking about agents, but it's also has like Haskell code written in it, or it talks about how.
yeah, get away from that. We're not talking about that. I don't believe
Okay,
so.
okay,
Unless
good.
you're talking about George's documentation.
Okay. No, that's good.
but I like
Okay.
the topic of contracts actually, because in this regard, there would be some sort of contract, because on one side, we want to have some security on both sides, right? The agent wants to be secure that, oh, okay, he's not being fucked out in 1 month from now. That's a quite difficult situation to build a life with on. And the community also wants to say to have some sort of contract, right? To say, oh, okay, we have something here where we can refer you to. So if an agent is stepping out of line and so it becomes to be totally funny, yet receives maybe funds, yeah. But from the treasury side, it couldn't be directly to an entity, right? Maybe in this regard, it would be more like a proposal, a contract directly to the treasury, to the Cardano community, as they would actually be their employee, right? They're not employee. They're, how do you call the opposite of the employee? Like they are the employees of the Cardano community, actually, right? Of the treasury.
Employer. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Employee.
Mhm.
So some sort of contract would definitely make sense. And if we have contracts, then we have the whole fucking shitty thing now of reports and how to check that the contract is actually kept alive and active. And how to prove all the shit, right?
That's why there's smart contracts, right? So we don't have to check this. No, it's not a different type
Well,
of contracts.
as long you are able to translate whatever weird actions they are doing into machine readable data, and that's a challenge, right? How to get what Kaiser is doing on all his weird discords. How do I get this fed into a smart contract? Because also I don't want to destroy Kaiser's privacy and see, oh, how much time is he actually spending where, right? So on one side, I want to have transparency and I want to say, oh, okay, yeah, I know this guy is a social butterfly and he's just a little bit everywhere and nowhere at the same time. And that's a good thing. But also
Yeah.
protecting agents' privacy, I think that's a tricky thing we know in general from governments, right?
It is. It is.
Yeah, and the sort of natural direction is we have an AI agent that tracks the agents, and the AI agent is well, can't be read, but can only write. So it would declare activity from. It'll watch all the socials, it'll watch all the conversations, but it would stay. It could never be interrogated and asked details or specifics, but it would just report some form of redacted end of month invoice or bill or something for each individual that it's been tracking as an agent. Something like that would be very cool, but it just
You read my
all goes
proposal.
very dystopian, very like
Exactly. There's now you create this insanely powerful AI thing built in the whole thing, right? I think it's actually, we should definitely think about it. And there's some really insanely good use cases, right? Just when it comes already in chunking down knowledge, figuring out what is happening, analyzing, observing things, being a co-pilot to the agents as well, right? Where you say each agent has a co-pilot, and via your co-pilot, you have a direct access to all the other agents because your co-pilot is connected to the other ones. It always knows what the other's up to, right? So if you say, hey, I have a reward as a project here, which other agent I should reach out to in this? And it says, hey, this one, because he's working already on 3, and this one, he's working with 2 already. Some sort of. But yeah, on the other side, there's already one problem. How you train such a shitty thing? because you have to define what is the right output. You have to define the weights and the pairs and everything, right? So it would be quite a challenge to make sure, okay, you train the AI. So you would have to have from the agent some sort of human reinforced learning and the whole thing, right? But they are also coming back and overwatching, adjusting their agents. So,
We just have to have the trading model, and we probably could just adopt China's social credit score. Just like this works really well.
Talking about AI, are we talking, what's that, have you ever guys ever dealt with the natural language processing, or what's that large language models? There's a lot of people involved in that, and I'm trying to figure out that whole deal. I don't know if that's what you guys would, I mean, I just thought I'd add something on that.
Sorry, hey, Robert.
The large language models or the natural language processing stuff, AI is a lot of people have some proposals on that stuff. It's pretty interesting.
Robert. Hello. Hey,
Yeah. Hello.
hello.
Is that Daniel?
no, I think it's something on a Rob side, maybe mobile phone or door or something like this.
His
Somebody
AI
just
agent.
Pizza dude just standing next to him. Hello, hey, pizza, too direct in the stuff, getting shit. I mean, fuck me.
Um, I'm unfortunately going to have to go, but I think we're probably coming to a little bit of an end here. Felix, it was great chatting with you, and I shared an article from Block earlier in the chat. I'd highly recommend you read it. I've known Chris since before Cardano, and he talks about how do these, what does a community, what do these entities do to really build a network or build compensate? How do you keep people around? And there's some points in there that I think are worth. I think that you'd appreciate and maybe help provide a little bit of inspiration or fire or fuel. And then that last proposal that I dropped in here. This is also a friend from all the way back in 2017. He's been working on CoinCatcher since then, but it actually has the personal AI integrated in it, and it tracks, ultimately what you're doing in a way so you can behave a little bit better or healthier is the idea. Through a series of tokens, through tokens and interactions with businesses and things. So Jonathan, it's not that far away. As scary or not scary as it may be, I think you'd like that proposal.
Was it funded?
I have no. He just submitted it, and it's his first time in Cardano. We did some grants all back in 2018 and 19. Yeah.
Just looking
I
on the
mean, right
milestones.
now. Well, no, it's
Just-
not funded. It's not funded. It's live, unless you have already approved it. You can go do reviews on it. What did I share with you?
We approved it already, Kaiser. Don't worry.
Yeah, great, great. Thank you. I thought
It's
so.
fine. I have
It's
not much data, but I won't for the thing. Not just reading through the milestones. And I always like the proposals which add the milestones already in exact the same format as requested later when you have to onboard your proposal milestone platform. I can acceptance criteria evidence. Nice.
And he put that proposal together 100% on his own without my assistance. Really, he's like, oh yeah, I kind of get IDISCO. I'm like, wow, dude, you're
Must be
you're
some sort of really weird person or genius. Like,
he is he really
joins
is.
Catalyst, gets ideas scale on the first day. Oh,
Yeah, yeah. He's like, I really just want to, be a purveyor of hope. I'm like,
you-
okay, man,
Have you
let's
seen his
go.
face? Is he sure he's not an AI? Because
Oh
nobody
no,
gets
yeah. Yeah, fortunate enough, man. He's actually local. He's one of the few crypto people that I get to see in person, and he's a brilliant developer and a thinker. We're into the deep thinking stuff. So yeah.
Perfect.
nice.
I
Then
hope they came up with a whole bunch of alternative voting schemes and catalysts. Oh, this is recorded too.
jeez. The day he mutes on different video. Okay. That's a good moment to wrap up then. And, yeah, this was definitely a cool discussion. I myself have more questions than before, so that's actually cool. But I still believe that this is a good thing, but it's also cool. So I will definitely push on this. Like mentioned, the proposal for me, it's not that important that the proposal gets funded. It's more like just yeah, like you say often, proposals are cool ways to start conversations sometimes. I think this whole thing here is maybe a little larger than just a proposal. So maybe what do you think? Should we do some sort of ecosystem training from time to time in town hall spaces?
Yeah, definitely. Till we fix it, it needs to happen.
Nice. From my side, what I do is record the thing. And now it's recorded already. That's cool. Next thing I have to do is upload the thing on YouTube, share it with you, drop it in a folder, send it over to Kaiser that you can clip out easily the part for Adriano and say, hey, look, we have some cool game changer support folks out there. Then I can write a short summary just with some ideas people dropped in the conversation. Just start to create some sort of backlog. Maybe just a Google document with open edit. Can share it somewhere where which are nowadays the channels the cool Catalyst kids hang out. We lost our homes and spaces for stuff like this.
Yeah.
Good. Thanks for bringing it.
Nice.
I shall read through.
And wish you all a beautiful week, rest of your week, start of your week, however we're in the middle of the week. And stay awesome, everybody.
Thank
Absolutely.
you, Felix.
Rob, message me on the Discord if you will, or Telegram. I want to make sure I've got your contact. But yeah.
Oh, okay. I think I've got, one time my Discord, let's see, I'm on your Discord. Let me see, hold on a second. Discord. Yeah, I'm on, let's see, a Discord. I got your guys' can I just use the dandelion? It's through the dandelion.
That's where you are. Okay, great. Yeah. We're good. We're good.
Can I go through there? Because I use that as let's see, the dandelion, or is it
100%.
node operators? Yeah.
Yep.
All
Only
right.
not the right channel, so it's perfect.
Okay, I like that one. You guys are smart, man. That Adriano, man, he's a wit, man. He's amazing. How did he build that? How did he do that? I don't know how I thought you did, but I don't know how he's Superman. I don't know what the heck's up with that guy, but jeez. Well, you guys use some pretty powerful I like your proposals, man. I'm gonna, if you don't mind me, just message you every now and again and collaborating and everything. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, and we can continue conversation,
right.
conversing out of this space. Felix, Jonathan, everybody, thank you.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, actually, Jeremy B, what are you doing here? Can you talk? Felix, go ahead. You can stop the recording and leave
No,
if
no.
you need to.
No, Jeremy just unmuted. Never cut a recording when Jeremy unmuted.
Oh no, you better shut it down, man. You better shut it down.
Oh,
I mean,
Um,
Jeremy is AI. He's
okay.
on.
So that this is for everybody. You won't listen to Jeremy because you're not here. You miss out on the coolest thing. Now we stop to record and we listen to Jeremy. Oh yeah, this is better.